Davie, obviously with Sonny Aluko starting the Rangers this season, how impressed have you been with Sonny starting a blue jersey?
Well, he looks a good player, but I would like to see him playing the left-hand side. He's been playing on the right-hand side when I last saw him. He looks a good player. He could add something to what we haven't got at the moment. But the young boy in the left wing, he could play in the right wing better than he could on the left wing if he was taken in hand and showed how to play there. First of all, we need to learn him how to kick the ball with his right foot. But Saluka looks a good prospect.
Is he the man, in your opinion, to replace Stephen A. Smith?
No. At the moment, nobody in Scotland could do what Naismith has done for Rangers. He was on fire for 6 months there. We will miss him. Don't you worry about that. We will miss Naismith. I knew when he hit the ground what was wrong with him. And I told, it was Alan McGraw, the ex-manager of Morton, who was sitting beside me in the stand. And I said to him, he's done his other knee this time. Same thing. And sure as fate, I was right. I was hoping I was wrong, but I knew the way he went down.
Do you think it's a coincidence, the fact that Rangers' form seems to have dipped in the last few weeks since Naismith's been missing?
Well, a player like Naismith coming into any team, the Scottish team would be the same, they would miss him. So you can understand why we've missed him. As I said, he was on fire.
You've seen Greg Wild there, you said that you would move him to the right-hand side of midfield. How impressed have you been? Because in the last 12 months, Greg has really come into the team and made the position his own.
Aye, he has. He has, but we need somebody to play on the right side, and I think Saluka doesn't look as good a player on the right side as he is on the left. Whereas I think that Greg Wild could and should be able to play on the right side because he's got pace. Not that Saluka hasn't got pace, but not as much as what this boy has.
Juan Ortiz is a player who the Rangers signed this summer from Spain, and he's not really had a great impact. Do you think Ali McCoist might be turning to him in the next few weeks and months as the season progresses?
He might be, but I hope not.
Not
because
impressed?
I don't think he's Rangers class. I really don't think he's Rangers class. What I've seen of him, I saw quite a few games of him. Maybe I'm being sore on the guy. Maybe he's a better player than what he showed with us. But you can only judge a player by what you've seen of him. And to me, he doesn't give us anything.
Nikica Jelavic is a player who's still on form, 14 goals already this season, Davie. So a lot of talk about him possibly leaving in the January transfer window. If he was to go like Kenny Miller did last year, could Rangers cope without Nikica Jelavic?
There's always somebody to come and take someone else's place, no matter how good they are. We would get somebody because there are going to be players for sale because clubs need the money. We need the money for Jelevnik, and if he goes, I'll not lose sleep over it. And I don't think McCoist will either because he'll have somebody marked out for it.
Where do you think Ali needs to strengthen in the January transfer window, Davie? Because at the back he's looking quite solid, so is it possibly up the field he's looking to strengthen?
I like the back four when we've got Papac playing. The young boy that's come in from Wallace, that's come in from Hearts, is going to be a good player, and he's a bit of an athlete. He gets forward, whereas Papac doesn't go as far forward as him because I don't think he's as quick as the young fella. Papac to me is a real professional. He plays the same game week in, week out.
Yeah. Looking at the rest of the squad, Ali McCoist has a good start as Rangers manager, top of the league and at present 4 points clear of Celtic. He had a bit of a tough start though, didn't he, in the European exit?
Aye, had a tough start, but I'm giving him 9 out of 10, and he loses the one for some of the games we played in the European Cup games. But 9 out of 10 for Ali. I have a lot of time for him. He's a winner.
Do you think you've seen a change in the style of Rangers this season. Walter Smith was more maybe defensive in his approach, but Ali does seem to be certainly pushing on his wingers and going attacking.
Yes, that's the difference between the two. Walter, you had to play in a certain way, and it was 60% defensively, 40% attack, whereas Ali, it's 50-50. But we've got a good defence now. Our strength in the team is we're two centre-backs, Davis in midfield, Jelevnic up the front. So right through the middle, where you're going to be strong with a team, we are strong.
Yeah, we've got that strong spine there, but how do you think, if you were one of Ali's coaching staff, what would you be saying to Ali going into the Celtic game in a couple of weeks' time? Would it be the 4-4-2 formation he's employed, or would you go a wee bit more defensively going to Celtic Park?
No, I don't think so. Why should we? We were 12 points in front of them, and we beat them at Ibrox 4-2. I think we're every bit as good and maybe even better than what Celtic are at the moment. Celtic don't have a team like we've got. We know what our team's going to be, maybe 8 or 9 players, and that's the way you get a good team. I know people say you've got to keep changing it. I don't think that's right. I think you should play with your best team every week.
And finally, Davie, Stephen Naismith made some headlines last week. He came out and said he would like to play in the Olympics next year in London as part of a British side. If you'd been asked, would you have?
I would have refused. I'm a Scotsman, but I don't want to go out of being British, if you know what I mean. But I wouldn't have played for Great Britain because I'm a Scotsman.